Hi, and good afternoon. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Legal Research versus Legal Advice. I am Douglas Jackson. I'm the law specialist here, and I will be presenting this presentation. I am the law specialist again. I've been working here since 2021. I have about 20 years of experience as a paralegal, working in the Maryland court system in the area of family law. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Legal Studies from Purdue University. CRRL Legal Resources. We have law libraries at two locations, here at Fredericksburg and Montrose, which is Westmoreland County. The Montrose branch is our most recent branch where we developed the legal resources. CRRL Legal Resources, items that are in our collection. We have the Virginia Code and the Virginia Administrative Codes, Virginia Practice Books, Code of the City of Fredericksburg, the Black Law Dictionary, National Consumer Law Center, the NCLC, and the NOLO publications. These particular publications are more catered to self-represented litigants. It actually gives them a layman's view or understanding of the legal process and the areas of interest that they may have. With those publications and our legal resources, we have circulating and non-circulating material. The NCLC and the NOLO publications, they circulate, which means they can be taken home. The Virginia Code, Virginia Administrative Codes, Virginia Practice Books, Code of the City of Fredericksburg, the Black Law Dictionary, those stay in-house. They cannot be checked out. Our online legal resources. This is where the public will begin their research once they access our website. It says here that the Central Rappahannock Regional Public Library, located on the third floor of the Fredericksburg branch and at the Montrose branch in Westmoreland County, provides information about laws and legal procedures to the general public, attorneys, and the judiciary. The law library is open during the branch's regular business hours. Okay, again, as the law specialist, I develop and maintain a collection of books, legal periodicals, and online databases accessible from public computers at all of our Central Rappahannock Regional Library branches. One of our online legal resources is Westlaw. Westlaw is it's a research tool. It's easy, pretty much easy to use. You can actually insert simple, basic research terms to find the area of law that you're looking for and to find the legal information that you're looking for. It covers a wide range of legal issues. Now, Westlaw is data heavy. What I mean by data heavy is that there's a lot of information that can be found in Westlaw. So when you're doing research with Westlaw, you have to make sure that you use specific terms to try to narrow your search in. And again, you can use basic terms. You can use simple language when you're doing research. You don't have to be concerned about using legal terms with Westlaw. But the easiest way to begin to understand Westlaw is just to really dive into it and begin to use it. And the more comfortable you become with it, the more efficient you can be with it. But it may take you some time to just to get used to all the information that you come up with. Another online legal resource is Gale Legal Forms. Now with Gale Legal Forms, what you can actually find here are forms that you can download, print out, fill out, and actually file those forms in the appropriate court. Gale Legal Forms covers a wide area of legal issues. As you see here at the bottom, you have the alphabets here, and this can actually browse you through the categories of legal information that you may be looking for. And once you locate what you're looking for, there are also on Gale Legal Forms examples of those forms being filled out. So you can see that, as well as blank forms, which you can print out, fill out yourself, and file those forms with the appropriate court. Now, librarians are not attorneys, and this is very important to understand. Librarians, including law librarians, cannot provide legal advice or conduct legal research on behalf of patrons, because it could be construed as the unauthorized practice of law, or UPL, which is illegal. And again, let me emphasize, this is very important, that as librarians, we do not give people legal advice. I know sometimes we want to be helpful and help people resolve their legal issues, but should we misinterpret a law, or should we tell them the wrong course of action, it could be detrimental to their legal case, and we could possibly be held liable for our negligence. So what is considered legal advice? Legal advice is the application of specific legal principles to a particular person's facts or circumstances, often involving a recommended course of action. It includes interpreting laws, recommending legal documents, and predicting outcomes, which only licensed attorneys should provide. It is distinguished from legal information, which is general public information. Okay, so to emphasize this, we cannot look up a law and then give that person our understanding of that law. Should they ask, well, what does this law mean? We cannot tell them what the law means. That's interpreting the law. We cannot recommend a particular legal document, although we may lead them to a particular document or provide a particular resource. Even in doing that, we cannot recommend that they use it. That is totally up to them. And we cannot predict the outcome. Should someone say, well, what do you think my chances of winning this case? Or, what do you think, how do you think the court's going to rule on my issue? We have to tell them we cannot predict that. We don't know. That's totally up to the court. Okay. So as law librarians, we cannot do that. Only licensed attorneys can do that. I often equate this with the medical field. If you're not a doctor or a registered nurse or someone in the profession of the medical field, you cannot recommend that someone take a certain medicine. You may refer them to CVS or some other store, Walmart, where they have an array of medicines for whatever the condition is, headaches, or what it may be. But if they say, well, should I take Tylenol, or should I take Excedrin, or should I take Bare Aspirin? Well, you should not recommend to that person which one they should take. You can only tell them, if you go to Walmart, if you go to CVS, you'll find these particular type of medications, and you have to decide which one works for you, or you have to talk to a doctor to determine that. I like to use that as an example to try to make it clear how important it is that we do not give legal advice. So what is considered legal information? Legal information is general knowledge about the law, statutes, case law, procedures that is not specific to a person's situation, provided by sources like courts or libraries, not a lawyer giving advice. So general knowledge is when someone comes into the library and they ask you about a particular legal issue. Well, again, we have resources that we can refer them to. And so that's pretty much what we do. That's the general knowledge that we have. We have books on statutes, we have books on case law, we have books about procedures, and we refer them to that information. But once they get that information, if they should come back to us asking us, well, what does this mean? Or should I use this information? Or will this work for my case? That's where we draw the line. We cannot do that. We have to tell them, if you're not sure that this particular information is going to benefit you, you must talk to a lawyer. Examples of things that we can't do. Again, these are examples of legal advice. Someone comes into the library and they ask you a legal question and you respond to them, let me look for the law, or I'm going to search the statutes and find an answer for you. No, we cannot do that. If you were to say to them, this is the divorce form that you need, or this statute/case means this or that, we cannot do that. Again, we can only refer them to the resources that we have. Once they get their hands on those resources, if at that point they're still not certain that that information will work for them, they must talk to an attorney. And these are examples of things we can do. I'll show you how to research the law. You can show them that on Westlaw, how to maneuver through Westlaw. You can show them how to, the procedure for logging onto Westlaw and how to move around within Westlaw. Or here's the Virginia Judicial Department Family Law website. You refer them to the website. Here's a legal dictionary/book that discusses the topic that they're interested in. Or here's how to use Gale legal forms, or again, Westlaw. So the idea is that we are more of a reference for the people, for the customers that come into our library looking for legal information. It's important that we understand that we can refer them and we can assist them as far as logging on to these websites and maneuvering around within the websites, but we cannot give them legal advice or interpret the information that they found. Well, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. I want to thank you for attending Lunch and Learn. Again, I'm Douglas Jackson. I'm the law specialist. If you need to contact me, you can contact me at law-specialist@CRRL.org, or you can visit our Fredericksburg Law Library on the 3rd floor in Fredericksburg, Virginia, or the Westmoreland County Law Section to see one of the librarians there. All right. Once again, thank you. Have a great day.